So on this site, you've obviously got underground services.
Yes, we've got
Tell us about how you stay safe around services.
We just keep away from the services, especially while digging, and for exposing the services, we don't use the digger, we just use the hydrovac for exposing the service.
Yep.
And if we find a service, we just dig by hand if we don't have the hydrovac. Yeah, we've got two spotter, one in the front, one in the back, because it's tight side, especially for the traffic. And while slewing, we just slew on that side because we've got cones and traffic controller on that side. We don't slew to that side.
As operators, we have spotters placed in that to make sure that those services are kept well away from, and with our golden rule of staying 500 millimeters away from our service. There's a lot of hand digging, so you know.
March Cato came up with a good plan where we start hydrovacing and then we start marking out our services.
Take your time, check your documents, check your ground, check with your supervisor or your engineer before you start digging.
And if they find something different or unusual or unexpected, what's the plan?
They need to stop, they need to come and find me. If I don't know, I'll go to our engineer. If our engineer doesn't know, I'll go to the service provider.
The warning tape.
Warning tape?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And hand digging, it's called the pipe.
The site has also been relocated or checked over twice with GPR locators, all before we dig.
So my first process would be to go through the potholing data to ensure that all the services are found. We know the approximate area where it is within that fence boundary, so just get a hydrovac in and then do a slot trench right across.
Yep. So how do you plan your day or plan your week around services?
Usually in the morning it comes down to a plan of everyone talking in the mornings, discussing what's the dangers on site and where we need to be.
Within the crew, it's the toolbox.
Yep.
Yeah, then we'll pick out, Christian will mention what services are coming up, and then we look at the drains and see the depths, and we'd see the potholes and there's manholes on the side of the road, and we'll just make out, oh yeah, there's a service there. We'll see the GPR markings too as well, on the side of the road, seeing the depths.
Yep. If there was a service strike on site, heaven forbid, what have you got in place to respond to that?
We've got to shut our site down, then we've got to go through our channels. Our first port of call was obviously to you, Matt, as Health and Safety Manager, to let you know that has happened. Then we're contacting the service provider, just in case it is a critical service that needs to be repaired.
Service, if I found a service, I stop and I call Mike to come have a look.
Just stay in the digger, turn off the digger, and don't try to jump from the digger because the overhead is gonna be laying on the booms.
Yep.
And talk to the supervisor, make sure to put danger tape all around the area to keep the boys safe, and don't let anybody come across to the digger.
Absolutely. Keep it simple.
Yes.
Keep the basics right.
GPS plotting of all services would be ideal.
Accurate dial before you dig. The other one is getting people, especially new people, to just follow those simple steps, to take care, to make sure it's done and done right.
To have the potholing done on both ends of the trench.
Yep. Is there one key lesson you'd pass on?
Operate slowly and focus on the spotter. Yep. Listen to the spotter, what the spotter said, because he can see blind points. So listen to the spotter.
You may come across stormwater pipe or other services. You stop until you can identify them.
Yes.
And you can make sure that they're live or dead.
Yes.
But you always treat them as live.
All operating, always be active.
Be vigilant.
Always watch out.
And every day is a learning process, you know?
Yep.
So I think once people learn to take their time and slow down together, you make less mistakes. And then you get a better result at the end of the day. So I think also the relationship between the spotter and the operator has to be key.
Like a marriage.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It's weirdly enough a marriage. It is.
And I've seen you two guys act as spotters for each other as well, and that's probably valuable if you've been an operator to also be a spotter, because you know what it looks like from the cabin.
Yeah.
I think it's communication. And if you don't know anything or if you're in doubt, just ask.
how do you feel about digging around services?
The biggest thing is to be aware of what is in the ground, and if you don't understand the service drawings, because sometimes, like chorus drawings, if you look at those, some of those drawings were written up in 1958.
I think aware would be the word for myself. Being aware of its dangers and all that sort of stuff, being aware of your crew around you, you know, when you risk putting your bucket near that, you don't risk yourself, you risk everyone standing around you. So.
Confident and cautious at the same time. I don't know if there's a word for that.
That's a wrap, everyone. Thanks for getting back to basics. Stay safe.